Hey y'all, Daniel Gaines here. Uh, I'm gonna show y'all some shit just to expose what Jason King, the Windsor C-1 School District Superintendent, has done. To prove that this motherfucker's intentionally lied and falsified things specifically to target somebody who spoke out about him allowing his staff to violate rights of students. Because I was critical of him allowing Montgomery and Scott to violate students' rights, he lied repeatedly and he's doing it to specifically target me personally. The lawsuit that was dismissed that I filed, their lawyers claim it was private property because that's what Jason King told them. The sheriff's department cited me for being on private property because that's what Jason King said. The charging document the prosecutor filed, I'm not going up because it shows personal information, vehicle information, address, yada, yada, yada. But here's what it says. Did then and there commit the following offense. The facts supporting this belief are as follows. Trespassing on private property. That's what's very, very important right there. And then, if you look down here, gives more information, where it took place and everything else. School zone? No. Construction zone? No. But yet the address is the school's address. So it is on school property. That's Jason Emmons, whose signature is on it. He's no longer at the prosecutor's office. I brought the fraud to his boss's attention, and mysteriously he's gone. They won't release the information, but probably got fired or was allowed to resign, technically, because of it. However, he's included in the lawsuit that I filed, so that's going to I'm gonna get the information, because see, I'm about to show you that even the prosecutors falsified documents because of what Jason King told them. And ignorance is no excuse. The prosecutor should have went and checked with the policy and everything else to verify. But let's get into it. Windsor C-1 Policy KG. Unless the district has physically blocked the entrance to the area or posted notice that the space is not available for public use, individuals or community groups do not need to go through the application process, pay fees, provide insurance, or agree to indemnify the district for the use of the following spaces. Tracks, walking trails, tennis courts, and outdoor basketball courts may be used anytime they are not being used by the district. Playgrounds and playground structures may be used at any time school is not in session and they are not otherwise being used by the district. As you can see, you can go through and look at the rest. I'll show it out a little further. Now see? Even their own policy, even the district's own policy states that it's public property. Public schools are public property anyway, but what's even more damning for them is their own policy says it's public. And yet Jason King has been claiming it's private for the explicit purpose of bringing criminal charges against somebody who opened their mouth about their misconduct and their violation of rights. So, there's that. Yeah, Jason King, how do you respond to that? And don't worry, in court it's going to be proven. That's why I won't file a motion to dismiss or anything else. I'm not going to let the criminal case be thrown out because I want to expose these fucking people. Now, another thing I want to show, which I'm not going to show all of this one because, again, personal information. But as you see, it is a subpoena. The seal is on it. And It's for the protective order case. And there's my witness. And this will be filed with the courts tomorrow. Not this one, the one that actually has the seal. This is just another copy because carbon copies, which is what these are. When you ride on them, they suck. Most of y'all will be aware of that. But yeah, that's who is going to be a witness for me. Since he actually was a witness of what happened that day, he has firsthand knowledge that what happened is different than what she originally claimed. He's going to be forced to acknowledge that he knew that it was falsified because he's also one of the 3 that came and served it. So he can't claim he didn't know about it or yada, 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 because he also provided her police report numbers for the initial one as well. So I'm going to force this piece of shit to admit that he knew it was falsified. He knew it was fraudulent. He knew it was procured through fraud and fraud alone. And therefore, he may or may not have known it wasn't enforceable, but he was told, so we won't be able to get around that because he was made aware, and I can prove it with videos. But then he's also going to sit there and watch as I play video after video of him threatening me with arrest, the whole time knowing it was fraudulent and a falsified document, which renders it unenforceable, of no legal force and no legal effect. And the courts have no choice but to accept the same view because it's not Daniel Gaines who says that. Oh, no. It's the state Supreme Court. Look up the state rules as it relates to void orders. You'll see one of the things that make an order void is fraud. Any court order that's procured through fraud cannot be valid or standing. It's automatically void. Fraud can never be the basis for anything. The courts have to acknowledge and accept that. Period. Otherwise, they're furthering and becoming a party to the fraud if the judge doesn't acknowledge and accept that. All I got to do is prove any part of it was falsified. And seeing as you can't even get past the first 3 sentences without the first 3 sentences being intentionally falsified and different from what the video shows, as I've proven in showing the video and the protective order. How you square that, Scott? How you square that, Montgomery? How you going to square all this, King? Dubas? Because the board president is aware of this. Oh, yes. Michael Dubas, the board president, is aware that Jason King's doing all this. Not all of it, but he's aware that Jason King lied about it being private property. He's aware that they're using Rachel Montgomery to be at every board meeting for the explicit purpose of preventing me from being able to speak to the board to expose this shit. He's aware of all that, and I have proof. And well, Dubas already knows he's a defense witness. King's already a defense witness. Montgomery's a defense witness. Scott's a defense witness in the criminal case. And the reason they're all defense witnesses is because I'm going to expose the fuck out of all of them. I'm going to do such a thorough job with them that the state's going to have no choice but to pull all their credentials and not allow them to have the positions they have and everything else. The state's, in fact, probably not going to have much choice but to prosecute most of them, if not all 4 of them. Their reputations and careers are going to be in tatters when I'm done, and that's exactly why they're defense witnesses. But they've done it themselves, and they've set themselves up for perjury because they don't think I have the evidence I actually have. That's why I will be the first and last defense witness, because while my attorney's going to recall a witness because the witness is going to have new evidence to present to show that all these people have intentionally lied while under oath, and they're going to recall me, in which case I'm going to present all their emails and text messages and everything else. And there ain't a damn thing they can do to stop it. As far as Chris Casey, the other board member that I was going to call, she's still going to get another subpoena when it goes to court. But because she decided to engage in the same conduct as Dubas and King, whereas I wasn't going to go after her career reputation, well, I say career, but it's their ability to be a public servant. But I was going to leave all that intact for her and just let it go for her because, well, she's the one who actually was smart enough during the board meeting to admit that what I was saying was truthful, even the part about it being public property. She's already exposed them. I've already got the video. The courts already have the video, so it's already part of the court record and the case record and everything else. So it's... if they're too stupid to understand why I wanted that video and I subpoenaed her, but there you go. I'll let these idiots, I'll throw them a bone. It's not going to change any fucking thing. But, well, like I said, I was going to spare her because I felt, even though she sided with them in the vote, I felt that was more so forced and pressured to do so. I felt that she was one that was actually at least honest about things. Well, now I've realized I made a mistake in my assumptions. And since I made a mistake, now she's still going to be my star witness. Keep that in mind. However, I'm exposing everything about her too. And whereas it cannot be to the same extent as the rest of them that I've named, Dubas, King, Montgomery, and Scott, it is going to be sufficient to justify me requesting punitive damages. And now I have every intent to do so. Aside from that, major sides, well, I have special plans for him in court. Let's just say I'm going to embarrass him worse than he's ever been embarrassed in his life, other than the first time he got naked in front of his old lady. Yes, that's an asshole comment. No, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just being an asshole and being rude to him and disrespectful to him because he's a fucking piece of shit. But, major sides, I do have special plans for you in court, and I am going to embarrass, and they only include embarrassing and exposing the fuck out of you. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. I'd rather just have fun in court. And no matter what happens, I won't do depositions. That's why I'm going to recall a defense witness to present evidence. Because I'd rather let them get on the record under oath as saying something, give them the opportunity to correct the record and correct their perjury, and then when they're still stupid enough because of their hubris to not do so, well then, after everybody's gone, that's whenever I expose all the emails, the text messages, the phone conversations, and all. That's when I expose everything. And I'm going to have fun. Their attorneys aren't going to be able to get them out of it. Their attorneys aren't going to be able to save their asses. There's really not a damn thing any of their attorneys can do other than pray to God I don't file a fucking civil suit in the courts after I'm done exposing all of this in court. And then they better pray whenever I do that I'm willing to settle, which I'm not. I've given them, a dozen opportunities to, probably literally, and they've refused. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Stay tuned. See, people think you make this shit up because you sound fucking crazy and delusional. I just showed y'all the charging document that the whole reason I have a criminal case is that one fucking document. And it says private property, not a school zone. But I showed you their policy where it says it is public property. I also showed you the video of the day that I got trespassed, which would mean that's where I was trespassed from. And clearly, seeing as the school resource officer, the high school principal, and the students trying to leave are all clear in the video, you can even see the buses and the school building and the district office. Clearly, it's on school property. That alone proves that it's fraud. It's falsified. It's the falsified document to bring criminal charges, which is what I've said. But only what I haven't stated is that it's Jason King, the superintendent, who's intentionally lied and deliberately and maliciously made a single person exception to policy specifically for the purposes of trying to have him locked up and thrown in jail because he was critical of Jason King allowing this principal to violate students' rights and using the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department to do so. So y'all think I ain't got the evidence? I ain't showing it because we ain't gone to court yet, and I'm not stupid enough to release some things publicly. Other things, if I do release them publicly, it can cause problems for the entire case. At this point, it's just me claiming things. So the courts can't throw anything out because I'm allowed to express my opinions about stuff. All I wish. But I assure you, I don't make claims I can't prove. I never have. The older videos that are with these, y'all can go look through. Every fucking claim I made in any of those, no matter how absurd they sounded or how fucking extreme it may have seemed that these fucking court people and public servants would do that, I proved every damn claim I made. Why would I start making false claims now? So far, of the things I've claimed and then put evidence out of, it's proven what I've said to be true. This video here proves that the criminal case is completely fraudulent and falsified, and even the sheriff's department knows this, and they did it anyway because Jason King wanted them to. That alone, look at the criminal side of it. Federal statute 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy to interfere with civil rights. When two or more state or government agencies work together and your rights are adversely affected, that's automatic conspiracy. On the civil side, it's 42 U.S.C. 1985. And it's conspiracy to interfere with civil rights. And it's the same thing when two or more agencies. Well, a school district and a sheriff's department and two or more agencies. Then when you add in the prosecutor and the municipal court, that's a total of 4 different agencies. All government funded, all willing participants and accomplices in the fraud. And y'all think I'm the one that's on some bullshit and I'm the one that's lying? Said in the very fucking beginning, Jason King and board members of the Windsor C-1 school board, I was the only one who would tell you the truth. I'm an asshole whenever I'm pissed. Whenever I see misconduct or violation of rights by public servants, I become an asshole real fucking quick, and I have a big fucking mouth. I don't deny that. Partially deaf causes one to speak louder, so I'm loud anyway. But whenever I see some bullshit like that, I get a bit louder still, and I don't deny that, and my mouth is fucking foul. I don't deny that either. But again, I'm allowed to. That's the thing y'all fail to fucking understand. What y'all also fail to understand, well, you don't fail to understand it, you know, you're just hoping you won't get exposed, is fraud is a crime. When public servants conspire like this with the courts, the prosecutor's office, law enforcement office, the school district, and everything else to specifically target one person because they were critical, that's criminal. That rises to the level of criminal. Deprivation of rights under color of law, conspiracy I've already gone over, which is a crime and can be punished civilly. Deprivation of rights under color of law is also a criminal violation of federal law, 18 U.S.C. 242, 241 is conspiracy, 242 is deprivation. However, on the civil side, it's a 1983 suit, 42 USC 1983. That's still deprivation of rights under color of law. They've got to be able to explain how they made a policy exception for one single person and then did all of this enforcing policy when no laws were broken. They still can't name a single fucking law I violated. But yet I'm the one in criminal court. You really can't make this up.